Alright, so my favorite exercise is barbell back squat. Today's exercise is the barbell back squat, which is one of the most effective lower body strength movements and a foundational exercise for developing total body power. To set up, the bar is placed on the upper back, either in a high bar position on the trapezius or slightly lower across the rear deltoids in a low bar position. Feet are about shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned outward, and the core is braced before starting the movement. The squat begins with the descent phase where the hips and knees bend at the same time. The hips move slightly back while the knees track in line with the toes. The goal is to keep the chest up and the spine neutral while lowering under control until the thighs are about parallel to the floor or slightly below, depending on mobility and technique. Then the ascent phase begins by driving through the midfoot and heel, extending the knees and hips to return to a standing position. This movement is mainly a combination of hip extension and knee extension, with a major emphasis on controlling posture and stability through the entire lift. And now I'm going to go over the muscle mechanics over the barbell back squat. The agonist is the primary movers. The primary agonist in the squat are the quadriceps femoris group, because they are mainly responsible for knee extension during the upward phase. This includes the rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, the vastus medialis, and the vastus intermedius. Another major agonist in the gluteus maximus, which drives hip extension, especially when rising out of the bottom portion of the squat. And the antagonist, the opposing muscles. The main antagonist during the squat are the hamstrings, because they oppose knee extension by assisting in knee flexion. The hamstrings include the biceps femoris, the semitidosis, and the semitibrancus. In addition, the hip flexors, such as iliopsoas, act as an antagonist to hip extension since they oppose the gluteus maximus when standing back up. And the synergists, the assist muscles. The synergists help the primary movers complete the movement for hip extension. The adductor magnus is an important synergist, especially as squat depth increases. The gluteus medius and gluteus minimus also assist by helping control hip position and preventing the knees from collapsing inward. For knee extension, smaller assisting muscles like the tensor fascia latae can contribute slightly through stabilization and alignment at the hip and knee. And stabilizers, which are postural and joint stability. Squats require major stabilization from the trunk and core. The rectus spina muscles stabilize the spine and help prevent the torso from collapsing forward. The rectus abdominis, internal and external obliques, and transverse abdominis provide bracing support to maintain intra-abdominal pressure and spinal stiffness. At the ankle, the gastrocnemius and soleus contribute to balance and help control the lower leg position. The hip stabilizers, especially the gluteus medius, help maintain proper knee tracking by controlling femur alignment. Personal reflection, why it's my favorite in Plus Fitness goals. The barbell back squat is a favorite exercise because it builds strength in a way that directly carries over into athletic performance and everyday movement. It develops lower body power, improves full body coordination, and forces proper control of posture, balance, and technique. It also fits into a strength routine really well because it can be progressed over time through increasing weight, adjusting tempo, changing depth, or modifying stance width. Squats are also useful because they challenge multiple joints and muscle groups at once, which makes them a highly efficient movement for strength development. Overall, the squat is a key exercise for improving total body strength, lower body power, and movement quality, which makes it one of the best foundational lifts to include in a training program.